Here in the Arizona Republican AZ Central Newsroom, I'm Richard Rellis here with columnist Bob Robb. Intelligence community says that Russia is interfering in this election, trying to help Trump and Sanders, and you say most people aren't getting quite what Russia is trying to do. What do you think they're trying to do with this help?
The prevailing view sort of takes the effect of what Russia is doing as its intent. If it's doing things that are favorable for Sanders, and Sanders has recently been briefed by the FBI that the Russian government is indeed doing that, the assumption is the Russians are actually trying to get Sanders elected. As in 2016, although the Russians also tilted towards Sanders in the primary, because of the extensive activity that they engaged in on behalf of Trump, the assumption was, well, gee, they really want to get Trump elected. I think there's something more subtle and actually more sinister going on. The Russians view democratic governance, or at least Vladimir Putin regards democratic governance as a threat to the legitimacy of his authoritarian regime. And he is actively engaged in trying to seed discontent or amplify discontent and discord in democratic governments, and to try to shake confidence among people who live in those countries in the legitimacy and the willingness to accept democratic outcomes. That's why the Russian disinformation campaign is directed not only at Trump, not only at Sanders, but there was some messaging in favor of Clinton. They just want to exaggerate the amplitude of the natural polarization that exists, and he does it in other countries as well.
Yeah, so not necessarily he wants these candidates to win, but he's stirring the pot, and he figures these two facing off would further agitate and polarize the nation.
He would have reasons to prefer that Sanders be the Democratic nominee. He's the most pacifist candidate in the Democratic ranks, policy-wise, compared to Joe Biden, for example. He had reason to prefer Trump to Clinton in 2016 because Trump was saying he wanted better relations with Russia, and Clinton was saying, I want to get tougher with Russia. But I don't think that's the singular objective, or even the primary objective. The primary objective is to stir discontent and discord within democratic governments, and Sanders and Trump just happen to be the best platforms to use to achieve that. Further evidence is that the messaging that the Russian government sends out, the disinformation campaigns, aren't directed at the persuadable middle. They attempt to attract people who are already deeply attached to the belief that they're trying to amplify. So it's not a matter of trying to change votes and change the outcome. It's a matter of trying to roll our politics and reduce the extent to which the democratic norm is a threat to his own authoritarian style of governance.
Right, so that after the election in November, he might want us to not just be one peaceful nation with a peaceful transfer of power, want us to still be fighting.
Yes.